Allahu Akbar, Allah.
Assalamu alaikum, brothers and sisters in Islam. Today I'm going to be talking about a topic that is going to help put deen in my life, your life, and everyone's life around us. So without further ado, let's begin. Nahmadu wa Rasul Kareem. Amma ba'd, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajeem. The first one is Iman. What is Iman? Let us ask our hearts, what is Iman? Iman is belief in La ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. The belief in that there's no God but Allah, and that Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, peace and blessing be upon him, is the final prophet. And without this yaqeen of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah, we are not Muslim basically. We just can talk about it, but we are not considered it. We just look like we're Muslims, but we don't act like it. You must have Iman that the angels, that the jinn, that there was prophets before us. One time, Khalid ibn Walid was in battle with the Romans, and this one Roman came up. He was a senior officer of the Roman generals, and his name was Jarja. And he asked Khalid ibn Walid, the closest meaning to it is that, "Oh Khalid, what if someone accepts your religion and says the Shahada, but has not seen the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam?" Khalid ibn Walid said, "Oh Jarja, you will get more reward because you have not seen Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but you believe in his words and his teachings." So we must have that high yaqeen, and we must believe in this kalima with no hesitation. We must have it in our hearts because our hearts are dead. With no kalima, our hearts are dead. Salah is the key to Allah's treasures. Key to Allah's treasures. Without salah, we are not Muslim basically. Because with salah, we can talk to Allah. The Sahabas were dying to talk to Allah. They were like, "Oh Allah, let us talk to you." And then the night when Prophet ﷺ went up, Prophet ﷺ, Laylatul Miraj, the light of Miraj. That's when Prophet ﷺ went up and he got us salah. Prophet ﷺ, "If you want to talk to me, do salah." And we do salah these days very short. It's only basically, if you divide it, 5 minutes for the Fajr, 10 minutes for Zuhr, 5 minutes for Asr, 5 minutes for Maghrib, and 10 minutes for Isha. That's all there is less than an hour. And we have 24 hours in a day. And we only need to do 1 hour of salah. And we can't even do that. We must focus on salah with our heart, intended into it. We must be talking to Allah. You know, Prophet ﷺ, when he heard the azan, his face would get blank. All the color would wash away. That if someone would stand in front of him, he would not know who it is. He would not know who it is. Because he was so focused and he was so God-fearing that he had to go do salah. That's how important salah must be in our hearts. We must not delay salah. One Sahaba, he didn't have the flour in his house, so he went to the masjid to do 2 rak'ah, and he came home and he didn't have no food still, so he went again, he did wudu again, he did salah again. His wife said there's nothing home. He went one more time and he did wudu again, he did salah again, and then he came home. The chakiyata machine was running. The flour was being made, and then it almost filled up the whole house. And underneath, when he looked, what was underneath it? It was one seed, a flower. And with salah comes ilm wa zikr, knowledge and remembrance of Allah. Knowledge is such an important thing that it tells us what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad. Quran is full of ilm. Quran is ilm. Quran is telling us what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says directly from Him, because He told the pen to write and He wrote. So we must have that high iman, because ilm is such an important thing. Ilm is telling us what to do in Islam, how to do wudu, how to do salah. Without ilm, we're illiterate. We are nothing without ilm. Ilm is everything, is knowledge. Knowledge is power. And with ilm comes zikr, remembrance of Allah. This heart, this 1 pound of flesh, is arrogant. It needs to be opened up. And how to open up your heart is by saying zikr. And when you do zikr, you're opening up your heart, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala can come inside you. He can come into your heart. So please, do zikr. Because remembrance of Allah, if you do one subhanallah, you get a tree in Jannah that if you let an Arabian horse run for 400 years, for 4 centuries, it will not get out of that shade. So with zikr comes ikramul muslimin, helping of another brother. If you get up and you help another brother, you get so much hasanat. It is such an important thing, like khidmat. During this time of Ramadan, we're almost finished, and we have to do khidmat for other brothers, because it is such an important thing, and we must not give up in ikramul muslimin. Because ikramul muslimin, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves ikramul muslimin. There was this one time, a lady, she was a Muslim, but she was not practicing. It was in the time of Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And she was not practicing, she gave water to a thirsty dog, and she got rewarded for that, and she went to Jannah. So we must have in mind ikram muslimin and ikhlas. Ikhlas means sincerity. Whatever you do, zikr, iman, ibadah, everything you do has to be with iman, with ikhlas. And ikhlas is such a beautiful thing, because without ikhlas we have nothing. Because ikhlas is sincerity. Everything I do is for Allah. We should check our intention 3 times: before we're doing the action, while we're doing the action, and after we're doing the action. That am I doing this for Allah? And if I'm not, Ya Allah forgive me, and Ya Allah let me do it for you, Ya Allah. Because on the day of judgment, if you do something for another person for worldly benefit, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of judgment will tell that person to go and get the reward from him, and that will not be happening. Everyone will be caring for themselves, no one else. So with that comes dawat. Dawah is dawat to Allah. When you give dawat, it's very important that you're telling people about Allah. Because Sulaiman alayhi salam, I believe it was Sulaiman alayhi salam, that asked he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how can I be closer to you? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, bring people closer to me. So you must spread dawat. Dawat is a mother of all action. It is such a beautiful thing, and you must spread it, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala loves it. Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the sahabas used to go around the world to spread dawat. There was this one sahaba who was found with a gold pouch and a camel 50 feet under the ground in Antarctica. Halfway across the world, the sahaba was found. So we must care for the human being. We must have the fikr, because these people, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks on the day of judgment, I gave you money, I gave you wealth, I gave you clothes, I gave you everything you needed, but you didn't spread my deen. You didn't spread my deen. You didn't spread iman. You didn't spread dawat. But why didn't you? So on the day of judgment, ask yourself that now. Should I be punished on the day of judgment? Why am I not spreading Islam? So, inshallah, everyone should try this. Everyone should put this into effect. And waqdulana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.
خير